All right, welcome everybody to the special edition of the Let's Go show with Jordan Clancy, Hastings 5 Points Bank assistant coach. As you can see right now, he's not here. I'm sort of looking at him to see what's going on with his camera and computer setup, see if we can get him, but we'll bring him in here soon. Really quickly, what we're trying to do here is we're just previewing the Mid-South region that starts here at Duncan Field in Hastings on Wednesday. We have state champions from Arkansas, Kansas, Colorado, Iowa, Missouri, Nebraska, of course, and the runner-up from Missouri, and then Hastings 5 Points Bank will be your host team. This is the second year Hastings has hosted the Mid-South region. We hosted it 2 years ago in 2019. We're supposed to host it last year, but everybody knows what happened last year. But we're excited to host it again. We're excited to have all new teams this year. Hastings is the only team that's back from 2 years ago, mainly because we're the hosts. But we got a whole new set of 7 school teams coming in. We're excited. And the first coach here we're going to bring in here is Coach O'Flynn from Gretna. How you doing today, Coach?
Really good. How are you?
I'm doing all right. We just talked about this a little bit ago, but I've already forgot. What time are you guys leaving tomorrow to head to Hastings?
So we'll leave somewhere between 1 and 1:30. So we can. It's only about 2 hours out there, so we'll get there about 3:30. So
nice. Just to start out here, just give a little bit of history of you and the Gretna program.
I've been the seniors coach for the past 4 years. We've been Class A. I'm trying to think. Probably maybe 7 years now. Okay. We're Class B before that, which is the second highest class in Nebraska. We had won some state championships before, but never at the Class A level. Like I said, this is my 4th year. A couple years ago, 2 years ago, we actually won our side of state. So the national division, and, in Nebraska, they play American and national division, then have a state champion. So 2 years ago, we played in that, but lost to Fremont, and Fremont ended up going to regionals that year. So
yep. And you, I even noted last year you guys had sort of a World Series type thing with Fremont, and then guess who you get to see this year in the state championship game? It's your friends from down the road. Fremont again. Talk about that 3-game series in Nebraska. Like he said, the 2 divisions meet and they play a 3-game series, over 2 days. Talk about that.
Yeah, and just talk about Fremont a little bit. We're in the same area too, so we see each other a lot. We've actually played them 8 times this year now. So we see them a ton. But yeah, the 3-game series a couple years ago. The same deal. We ended up playing Fremont. It was us and Fremont. They won game 1, we won game 2, and they won game 3. And this year was just the opposite. So this year we took game 1. Thought we had game 2, but they came back and won at the bottom of the 7th inning and walked us off.
Yeah, and before we talk about game 3, I'm going to have to take some of that blame for that game 2 loss, because me getting ahead of myself, I was following it on Game Changer. I had the congratulations Gretna baseball advance into the Mid-South tournament, and I had that ready to tweet, and then they scored a couple runs there. So I felt a little bad. I was glad to see you guys come back in game 3 and win that game.
Yeah, it was game 2, I thought we had it. It was pretty much in the bag, and they did a really good job coming back, and fortunately we were able to stay positive and stay up for game 3 and come back and win that game.
Yep. And by the way, as everybody notices, all of our Hastings fans, we got Coach Clancy here. How are you doing today, Coach Clancy?
Doing good, man. Doing good. Just coming in, listening to Coach O'Flynn, and good seeing you, Coach. Thank you for being here, man.
Yeah, no problem. How are you doing?
Doing good. Congratulations.
Thank you.
What a run.
Yeah, I know.
That is awesome, man.
Yeah. You know how it goes. It's a grind. Every day.
Yeah.
We had a couple double headers mixed in there just because, we actually ended up in the losers bracket. So, we had to play a doubleheader on last Wednesday and then a doubleheader on Saturday. So, Yeah, I know it was just, obviously a ton of baseball. So,
yeah. I mean, we heard about that, Coach, the first day. I mean, came with the bang, man. The first day of the state tournament. That was sweet.
Yeah, Bellevue West was the first day. They were, what were they coming in?
49 and 2.
49 and 2. And they're just, I mean, absurd. Like, I don't know if
yes, sir.
played them, but we played them in the spring, and I mean, they're stacked. I mean, they're just a really good team. And, that first day, honestly, I mean, I think we were fortunate not to see, one of their top pitchers. I think we were overlooked a little bit probably. And, we took advantage and
you took it to them.
Running them. Yeah,
you left no doubt. Yeah.
10 runs, yes.
Yeah.
Talk about your team a little bit. Give us a couple players for the fans who are going to be coming to look out for, and I know it's tough to just pick out a couple kids, but, just give us a little quick rundown of some of the players on your team.
Pretty good top for our lineup. Some good speed at the top. Leadoff guy, Braden Cheney. He's one of our top pitchers as well. Gets on base a lot, just does a lot of different things for us. Obviously pitches, plays outfield. Just seems to always be on base, and he's good once he gets on the bases. Caden Boswell, a senior, had a heck of a state tournament. Huge 3-run home run in the game versus Prep in the championship on our American side. And we were losing at the time. It was just a huge momentum swing. But he had, not only that, he had, 2-3 assists from the outfield. Played a really good job, really good outfield, right field for us. Those are kind of the top of our lineup. Nick Huber bats third. He's just really good stick. It's been really good in the outfield as well. Just up and down our lineup, some versatile guys. And then we have quite a few sophomores, not quite a few, but some sophomores scattered in there. So sophomores, juniors, and seniors that kind of fill our team. But I've told, a couple of people, we've had 4 sophomore pitchers just kind of step up at the right time and take us through some of those games at state. So pretty good mix of kids.
Before I let you go, do you know anything about the Arkansas State champs?
Not much. I know they've played a couple of Nebraska teams, including Papio South. I think I saw there was a couple other ones that some early on games that I was kind of looking at, but that's about it. I mean, you get a little bit of it from just seeing that on Game Changer and talking to those coaches, but
and you never know who's been pitching and stuff like that too.
Right.
So.
And just like I'm sure Hastings does, and we do. Some of those tournaments you're not always playing your best guys all the time. I mean, you're trying to get guys in and build depth, and for the end of the season. So you don't know exactly what teams saw when they played them. So bottom line is I don't know a ton about it.
Well, that's how it should be too. You're bringing people from all over. It should just throw your chips out there and see what happens.
It'll be fun to see new teams. So
Coach Clancy, you got anything for Coach O'Flynn before we let him go?
Coach O'Flynn, I don't know if you remember or not, but that Scully that I ended up giving you guys when you guys came here, did you guys end up getting that Scully back to your coach's coach, or did we end up launching it?
Yeah, that was the first time I met you. You came over and gave me that, and I mean it was from a year or 2 ago, right?
I was like, I think this is your guys's. I don't know if you want it or not, but
I think it was one of our junior coaches. So yeah, we have
awesome.
One of my assistants still has it. The other junior coaches got new helmets this year because obviously somebody lost theirs. So yeah, thanks for that.
Yeah.
All right. Well,
congratulations, Coach.
Yeah.
Well deserved.
Thank you. Thanks for having me, guys.
Yeah, we'll let you go here, and we'll say hi to you tomorrow when you show up at the hotel, and we'll get ready to go on Wednesday. Thanks for coming.
Yeah, thank you guys. Appreciate it.
Yep. All right, that was Coach O'Flynn from Gretna Post 216, the Nebraska State champions. They will open up with Cabot. I don't know how to say the name, so that's why I only said the Arkansas State champions earlier. The rally.
Nice effort, Coach.
The Rail Cats. They open up at 4:00 here at Duncan Field against the Arkansas State champions. All right, next we're going to bring in from Dubuque County, Iowa, Coach Ronnie Kramer, who's been patiently waiting here. He was the first one in the stream before I was even in here. And Coach Kramer, how are we doing today?
I'm good.
Okay. We're a little tight. Me and Coach Clancy are on the same internet here, so I think we're bogging things down here a little bit. Coach, talk about your history within your program at Dubuque County. Oh, we got you on another one here. Let's see if this one works better.
I was having trouble on my computer. I'm on my phone. Is that better?
Perfect. That's perfect. I don't know if you heard me there. Talk about your history with Dubuque County American Legion.
I'm sorry. What was that? It was.
Yeah, no, you're fine. You're fine. Coach Clancy couldn't figure this out the first time we did it either. You know?
You're good, Coach Kramer.
Talk about the Dubuque County program and your history with it.
Well, I've been involved for 7 years. This is our 6th season, obviously with COVID last year. But we pull from one county. We have 6 high schools in the county. We have 5 posts that sponsor us. So we select a few guys off each program. But we're a little different than other states because we're doing our state tournament and area tournament and playing our games and everything, and we're done like first week of May.
Oh, yeah. And then the Iowa high school season takes over in June and most of July, correct?
Yeah, they just finished up last Saturday, actually, the tournament. So some of our guys just got done playing.
So have you even gotten together since late May?
No, we haven't had a practice since we got together in May. So
wow,
we'll see what happens.
Yeah, and you guys are sort of no stranger to regional tournaments. You guys have made it up north before in the Central, right?
Yeah, we've been at the Central Plains region the last 3 trips that we were to the regionals. This is our first time to Nebraska.
Yeah. Coach Clancy, you got anything for Coach Kramer here?
Yeah, so some of those guys, so it's kind of like it's going to be like an all-star team kind of, it sounds like, Coach Kramer, with the guys just getting done like a week or two ago, but as a team it was around May when you guys were kind of playing together. So you guys just kind of, do you guys practice like during June? The kids that aren't playing? Or?
No, most of the season just ended, for most of them. We did get together, I guess, last week just to have some batting practice, but we only had half of them there because the rest of them were still playing. So
yeah, we'll be ready to go.
We got to throw it together at the last minute. We've only played 8 games together as a team. So
yeah.
You played 8 games together, but at least they've been playing this whole summer and everything. So it's not like they come in,
Yeah, it's not like they just had 8 games. They've all played all summer. But
talk about a couple kids that we should be looking out for when you guys show up here to Hastings.
Well, we've got a couple kids I think are probably led the state in home runs this year with Jake Brosius from Wahlert. I think he led the team with home runs, and then we have Sawyer Nallman from West Dubuque, and he was just a couple behind him. So,
oh wow,
we got a couple kids that can hit the ball.
Now, do you know anything about Duncan Field?
Just what I looked online, and all I could say, it looks huge.
Yeah, that's what I was just going to say. And I should have put this together before, but we actually have a list of every home run that's been hit out of here. That's since 1940. So. There haven't been.
It can be done.
Out here, I'm looking at it right now. It's 370 down left field, 367 down right.
Yeah, I see that.
Yeah, 405 to the power alleys and 408 to center with what would you say, Coach Clancy, about a 7-foot brick wall?
Yeah, 7 to 8.
Yeah.
370 down the lines. That's crazy.
Yeah. We like to say, there's a home run list, and Probably the most famous one is Alex Gordon hit one out of here when he was in high school, hit one over the scoreboard. So he's probably the most famous person on the home run there.
Sure.
I guess, like I said, you guys probably have as much regional experience as anybody. Do you know anything about the Colorado team you guys are going to be facing, Gene Taylor's?
No, we don't. I don't have any input on them. I know when we get out there, they're all going to be tough. So take one game at a time,
Yep. Well, that's great. We can't wait to have you here. Coach Clancy, you got anything before we let Coach go here?
That'll be interesting.
No, I don't think so. What was that?
Some of those dudes, if they can smash, they can put it over that wall.
Yeah, that's
our head coach. Our head coach, Coach Marcourt, during college in Hastings College, he ended up hitting one out. So it absolutely can be done, and it's a great ballpark. And congratulations, Coach Kramer.
Yep.
Thank you, guys. I appreciate it.
Yep, and I'll be around tomorrow when you guys show up, and hopefully we can say hi. I'm not anything important, but I'll be one of the guys in the background. I'll make sure I come up and say hi to you. We can't wait to have you guys out here.
Thanks looking forward to coming.
All right. Thanks, Coach Kramer.
Thanks, guys.
Yep. All right. We got a couple more coaches waiting in the wings here. I got to look at we're a little behind schedule.
Hey, you're very important, Coach Mays.
I am not very important. I am the least important here. All right.
Show number 7 already.
All right. We're going to bring in, let me find his tag. We're going to bring in Coach Wright here from Oak Grove, Missouri. Coach, how you doing?
I'm doing well. Can you hear me all right?
You can hear you perfect.
Great.
Coach Wright is the coach of Oak Grove, Missouri, the runner-ups from Missouri. And don't take that lightly because Coach Clancy probably doesn't remember this, but 2 years ago, it was the runner-up from Missouri who ended up winning the whole thing, Festus, Missouri.
Nice.
So, yep. So we got Coach from Oak Grove here. Coach, talk about a little bit about the Oak Grove program and your connection to it.
Well, we actually have a pretty rich history, but unfortunately, of recent years, it's not been there from a senior perspective. We a gentleman by the name of Ron Johnson coached Oak Grove Senior Legion baseball for many years through the 90s and into the early 2000s. And was a very, very successful coach. Actually, we won a state title back in '93. Had some incredible players come through his teams and through Oak Grove. Ron passed away, I believe, in 2009. The last time that I believe they actually made it to state was under Ron, and I think it was somewhere in the 2006 range. Okay. Once he passed away, they had I believe his son might have took over, and the Senior Legion team, I believe, continued till about 2016, where nobody was left to coach. So since 2016, we haven't had a Senior Legion program, and this is the first year that we've been able to kind of resurrect that Senior Legion program. And prior to the COVID year last year, we would have had a Senior Legion program. Perhaps, actually, probably wouldn't have had one last year. It would have depended on the number of players, but 2 years prior to that, we had a Junior Legion program. So the Legion program the Senior Legion program went away after 2016, but 2018 and 19, we had a junior program. And the kids, and in that 2019 season, I was one of the coaches coaching the junior program, and many of those kids from that program, we had a season last year in COVID. It wasn't an official Legion season, but many of those junior kids rose up and through that year, played in that year, and then many of the kids that comprise this roster were on that junior program back in 2009 or 19. I'm sorry. Wow. So it's here we are this year, kind of the first year as a senior program, but not necessarily new to the Legion because we played junior ball in 2019, but hoping to have the kind of success that Ron had way back when. But first time in 16 years, I think we were able to make it to state, and so that was quite exciting for Oak Grove and the community. So
that's great.
Awesome.
Talk about just really quickly, the road to the state tournament. What do you guys have in Missouri before the actual state tournament?
Yeah, our area where there's 4 zones in Missouri, and on the Kansas City side, which is where we're at, the kind of the northwest quadrant of Missouri. It's basically 4 quadrants. However, the southwest quadrant, the Springfield quadrant, is somewhat vacant, or is vacant. At least it is this year. So there's no teams that came out of the southwest quadrant. So all your teams are comprised out of the other 3 zones. There was, because of the vacant zone of zone 3, which is the southwest quadrant, 2 teams from our zone were allowed to go to state. We won our zone. The runner-up, Oak Park, also advanced to state, post 626. And then they took, of course, the winner of zone 1 and zone 4, which is the St. Louis northeast quadrant and your Cape Girardeau southeast quadrant. Cape Girardeau advanced to state, as well as Washington post 218, the eventual winners of state. So, we were excited to advance to state, and thrilled with that. And we came up a little bit short. We ran into a really, really super good Washington team that you'll see up there. They can hit the ball quite well. They got some mashers on their team that it didn't seem like whatever we threw at them, they had an answer for it, and a very talented team. So anxious to see how they do, and hopefully they represent as well as I think they will. So.
Yeah, and I not to spoil anything, but I talked to the coach earlier today, and oh man, I don't have his name right now. What's his last name?
I believe it's Kent is his first name.
Yeah, but he mentioned to me that the only way they even made it to their zone tournament was they were the hosts. They didn't even advance out of districts under, a little bit. They were the host of the zone tournament, and then won that to make it to state. But also the other thing, I don't want to spoil again, but I don't know if you guys caught it in Coach Clancy's microphone, but that's something you guys are gonna hear. Coaches who are in there is the old train tracks going by here.
Yeah,
I've been trying to mute it. I've been trying to mute it off and on when Coach Wright's been talking.
I saw on the drone video that it was right next to some railroad tracks, and that's really no stranger to us. There's a couple fields we play at where we got train tracks right next to it too. So
we're supposed to be having a quiet zone enacted here sometime, but they keep pushing that back a little bit. But I don't know what'll happen if they ever do. Really quickly here, we don't want to keep you too much longer, as we do have a couple other coaches here in queue, but how is your team made up? Is it from one high school or multiple high schools, or?
I would say 90% from Oak Grove. We, given our geographic location, the teams in our zone actually directly to the west of us are, it gets more populated as you go west toward Kansas City. You run into issues of boundary issues and having to get releases, so it's very difficult for us to find and supplement our team with players from that direction. So if we go to the east, where it's a little bit less populated and smaller communities, is really where we've been able to pull a couple kids from. We've got a kid from Marshall and a kid from Hardin who was unfortunately unable to make the trip up to regional with us, but we were able to also get a kid from Grain Valley, which is just due west of us, and we were able to get the release from the coaches there to the west of us. But aside from those 3 kids, every other kid is an Oak Grove kid.
Just really quickly, I know it's like I told Coach Kramer, it's tough to pick out a couple kids, but talk about a couple kids that, the fans who show up here should be looking out for.
Well, it starts at the top for us. Hayden Armstrong is we have 5 of our top 7 guys that bat in our lineup have on base percentages of 500 or more. So we are a team that really offensively prides ourselves on taking a good approach to the plate, getting on base, putting some pressure on the other team, being a little bit aggressive, and just trying to force them to make some mistakes in the field. Offense. That's kind of our offense. We don't have a lot of masters. I was listening to the coach before us that they were talking about all the home runs that they could hit, and then I hear about that park that you got up there, and I'm like, that's a good thing we don't have home run guys, because it ain't gonna happen up there. So actually, our team might be well suited for that park to be able to drive and hit gaps and run. So it sounds like a really fun park to be in, and it may suit our team well. And then on the other end of things, really, pitching and defense has always kind of been a trademark for us. And our pitchers are very, very smart pitchers, and their success is derived mostly on their intelligence, I think. And you're not going to have, like I always tell people, you're not going to have guys on our team that are just going to wow you with amazing stuff, but they are going to pitch their butt off, and they are very, very smart and intelligent about how they go about it. And over the many years we've had them, I've had most of these kids for probably 10 years, ever since they're probably in 1st or 2nd grade. So it's been a wonderful experience and a wonderful ride. And it's really nice to see how it's kind of come together. A lot of these kids are juniors, and how they've been able to blossom, if you will, in this age of their lives. So kind of rewarding, very rewarding to see that. And I'm so happy for them that they get this opportunity. Looks like a fun time that they got ahead of them.
All right, this is and I'm sorry to cut you off, Coach Clancy, but this is my normal question. What time does the bus leave tomorrow?
For us, 7:30 in the morning.
That's
so
how many hours?
Nice.
We have a 5-hour trip, so it's not too bad. Okay. We'll have a stop to probably stretch our legs, but the kids were pretty impressed with the whole idea that I told them. I kind of sprung it on them yesterday about if they happen to win this thing, and they were quick to correct me and say when we win. But that they don't get. I told them, I said, you win, you don't get to go home. Yeah. And they went, what? So quite a neat little thing to think about in their heads. You win, you don't go home, you get to stay a night and then get on a plane. So they were pretty fired up about that.
Yeah, I think Festus had a 2-night stay here, and then they were on a plane to Shelby, North Carolina 2 years ago. So
Gary Stone, our chairman, the state chairman, was quick to point that out. Said that it's no shame in going as a runner-up, because Festus went to the World Series last year or 2 years ago. So
all right, Coach Clancy, you got anything here for Coach Wright before we let him go?
Yeah, it's awesome, Coach Wright. I'm a little similar. I started coaching some of these kids when they're around 6th to 7th grade, and now a lot of them are seniors. So it's very cool to see them go up and get older, and then some of them go to play college ball, and some of them are playing their last season baseball as of now. It's cool to see them grow up, huh, Coach?
It is wonderful. It's I always say, like, you have all these kids, and it's like, they're almost all your kids. I mean, you look at them like they're your kids, and you want everything that's the best for them, just like they're your kids. And we only have a couple kids on our team, honestly, that would be technically ineligible to play senior Legion ball next year. So only outside of those 2 kids. Yeah, we've got kids that could conceivably come back and play next year. So, but that said, it's many, many years culmination. This is a great way to it's not end of the ride, but it's a great way to ascend at this point in their lives. So I hope they really, really enjoy it.
All right.
Wanting a plane trip.
Yeah, that would be the best. Yeah.
All right.
They're excited now. I can't imagine what would happen if they got to do that.
Yeah. All right. Well, thank you for joining us, Coach Wright. We'll see you up here tomorrow or Wednesday, and Can't wait to watch the Oak Grove guys.
All right. Well, thank you so much for having us. This is going to be a lot of fun, and we look forward to it. And I look forward to maybe talking with you guys while we're up there.
Yep. That'd be great. All right.
Congratulations, Coach.
Thank you so much. I appreciate that.
All right. We got a full queue here. I got to look who's next on my list because we're a little behind schedule. Looks like Coach Yankee. Oh, whoops. I moved on me.
Hey!
Coach Brian's there for a second.
Yes, sir.
Is it Coach Yankee? Am I pronouncing that right?
You got it.
All right. Coach Yankee from Gene Taylor's Baseball Club in Colorado, the Colorado State champions. I guess my first question, and I didn't prepare you for this, but who's Gene Taylor?
Gene Taylor started a summer baseball program here in Grand Junction back in the mid '70s, and played American Legion ball since then. He and another man named Gene Haggerty put the team together and played all the way up until I believe 1993. Okay. And then there was a hiatus until 2007. Program got put back together, and I've been a part of the coaching staff ever since. So. The program's been around for a long time, even though there was a hiatus there in the middle.
Yep. Talk about, I know this is not your guys' first trip to a regional, is it?
No.
Okay.
This is our fifth trip to a regional. We've always been in the West region, though. Yep. And so this is the first year being in a new region. And it honestly feels more regionalized now with people that we are in the same geographic location rather than in 2019 we were the state champions, and we got on a plane in Denver and flew out to actually we drove 4 hours to Denver to get on a plane to go to Fairfield, California to play in a regional. So we're not, it's not unfamiliar, but it's a new experience to get on a bus and to drive to Hastings for the Mid-South Regional.
Yeah. Coach Clancy, what do you got?
Yeah. So Coach, is that how close is that Grand Junction? How close is that to Hotchkiss, Colorado?
That's about an hour and some change up the road a little bit, up into the mountains.
Very nice. I had a great buddy. I played college football at Hastings College, and his name is Dylan Hill. Great dude and a great athlete from Hotchkiss, Colorado.
Yeah, up in the that's up in the mountains, mining town, a big mining town up in the mountains. So yeah,
the miners. That is awesome, man.
Talk about the Colorado American Legion, season or whatever. I know you guys. There aren't a ton of Colorado American Legion teams. Am I correct on that? Or
yeah, this year it was really down. American Legion baseball in Colorado was really, really down this year. Usually our state league makes up, somewhere between anywhere from 12 to 16 teams. And it's we do one division, one zone, one section, and we play it out until and do an 8-team state tournament. And this year there was only 3 teams, us, Rocky Mountain from Fort Collins. And then there was a team, the Rocky Mountain Oysters from Longmont that were in the league this year. They were actually new. Okay. Us and Rocky Mountain kind of compete year in and year out for the state title. It's kind of coming down to us the last handful of years. So,
and there might not be very many American Legion teams there, but I was just looking at your schedule, and man, you guys played a tough schedule. I saw the Las Vegas Aces on there. I saw some other perennial power teams on there.
Yeah, and typically we do that with our schedule. The tournaments we usually go and find. We don't play in tournaments that we typically win. To be 100% honest, we look and try to find the best competition possible. That are gonna make these kids better. These kids get locked into in our area in our valley. The kids get locked into playing each other a lot over there from when they're 5 years old playing t-ball all the way up until now. They get locked into playing the same people over and over and over again. And it's funny because I don't coach any of the high schools. I don't coach college. I don't coach anywhere else. And so they go, well, we know this kid, and this kid. And I'm like, we're in the wrong spot then. We need to go somewhere else.
Yep.
So yeah, our non-American Legion schedule is pretty rigorous usually.
And you mentioned it.
Awesome.
How many schools are you combining to make your team?
We draw from 5 schools, 3 of the larger schools in town. There's one that's kind of a step below in size. And then I have one kid, kind of an interesting story. One kid from a school in Nucla, Colorado, which Nucla, it's a K through 12, I believe, school.
Oh, wow.
And there's, I think there's 50 something kids in that school. And so very, very small, but a kid that's very good. You'll get to see him quite a bit during the tournament.
Well, you brought it up. Let's coaches hate doing this, but let's pick out a couple kids. Tell us who we should be looking out for.
Well, since I led right into it, I'll start it off with them. Tyler White-Hulk is his name. He's going to be a left-handed pitcher. He'll throw game 2 for us, regardless if we win or lose. Game 1, he'll throw game 2 for us. He'll also play first base. He'll hit for himself when he pitches. A bigger kid. He's 6'1", 6'2", signed to play JC ball at Eastern Arizona. He's kind of the leader of our team. I've had Tyler since he was a freshman in high school. And so he's always been one of the premier guys in the area that most people don't really know about because he goes to such a small school.
Yeah, man. I can't even really think of very many, K through 12 schools that are still around, so that's pretty amazing.
And then probably our other kind of team leader is Cade Bessert. He'll pitch game 1. He also plays center field when he's not pitching. He's walking on at the University of Utah. He's more of a project kid for them, though. I wouldn't put a ton of stock into that quite yet. But he's a kid that I had when he was a freshman also, and he's done nothing but get better. I don't know if he could have pitched 75 miles an hour when I got him, and now he's mid to upper 80s, and he's still learning. He's still learning the game, and he's still learning how to do things. And he's one of those kids where it's like, wow, to think of where he started from and where he's at now is pretty special. So those are kind of 2 of my team leaders and kind of couple of the better guys on our team.
All right. Well, we can't wait to watch him. Coach Clancy, you got any other questions about random Colorado cities or any other questions?
That's awesome. Yeah. Coach, is your town with those? Is it around 50 to 60,000? I looked it up. Is it around 50 or 60,000?
So
in that range.
So if you include Fruita and Palisade, which are kind of on each end of town, the west end and the east end, it's about 110,000. Grand Junction.
Oh, nice. Yeah.
Grand Junction itself is probably 80-ish, 80 to 85-ish, somewhere in there.
Nice. Awesome.
And kind of our claim to fame is we host the Junior College World Series, the Division I Junior College World Series at the stadium in town here. So we we pack the stadium. It's a 10,000 seat stadium, and they pack it for almost every game. So
wow.
And does that kind of help your kids, kind of that JUCO route, kind of open them up a little?
It definitely when they see the guys there that play at the JUCO tournament, it definitely sparks something in their mind that, you know what, this would be really cool if I could come back and play in this. And I don't remember the last kid that was that has done that. And so it piques an interest in their head.
Yeah. Wow, that's awesome, man. That'd be fun to watch. JUCO is getting to be a big thing. It's we were up at Millard West, and that's in the West Omaha area of Nebraska. The hashtag JUCO route is a big thing where these kids, they can play Division I baseball, but then they're like, well, I kind of just really want to focus on more baseball a little bit more and trying to get drafted. So awesome, man.
Definitely. Yeah. Iowa Western's been here a ton, and we've got.
Yes. Council Bluffs. Yes.
Yeah. A ton of those guys have come here. And so we've gotten to know that coaching staff, and it's a good thing to have in our town during that Memorial Day weekend.
Before we let you go, did you know anything about Hastings, Nebraska before you found out that's where you're heading?
I knew about the school there, the college there. That's about it. I've been to Kearney before.
We won't hold that against you. Okay.
Thanks, appreciate it. But no, I just knew of the college that's there in town. That's about it.
Okay, all right. Well,
Awesome.
of course, it's not as big a deal to you outstate people, and I've got some other guys. I got an Arkansas and Kansas guy here waiting in the wings here, but Hastings High and Hastings College is where Tom Osborne, he graduated from Hastings High, then went to Hastings College, and then he later coached some football a little bit,
You guys don't know anything about football out there, right?
No. Well, not the last couple years.
As of late, it doesn't seem like now.
All right. Well, Coach, thank you for joining us. And did I ask you the question, when are you guys leaving tomorrow?
No, but we are leaving at 5 a.m.
Oh, man.
And it probably should be earlier than that, honestly.
Yeah. And how long do we think it's going to be? How long a trip?
I think it'll be roughly 10 hours.
Oh, wow. That's a little longer than I would have guessed, but I'm not I don't.
Yeah. And there's been a huge rock slide in the middle of the state in one of the canyons. And so the major interstate going across the state is blocked right now.
Oh, jeez.
And so we're going to take the long way a little bit to get there.
Wow.
That's wild.
Yeah.
Well, safe travels to you guys, and we'll catch up with you when you show up here. Come make sure, say hi to me or Coach Clancy. And we can't wait to have you guys out here.
Definitely. I appreciate it.
Congratulations, Coach.
Thank you. Appreciate it.
Yep. All right. Thanks, Coach. All right. Next on my list, the Kansas State champions from Pittsburgh. Another name is it Coach Bryans?
Bryans, yeah. Coach Bryans.
Coach from Pittsburgh. Talk about, I did a little research in it, and I'm pretty sure you're a Pittsburgh guy.
Yep, I am. I am from Pittsburgh, born and raised. And obviously I'm not old, so I don't know how many young guys you get in here. I'm 22.
Oh,
man.
So this is
That's all right.
second year coaching. Mm-hmm.
That's good.
I actually was asked to be an assistant coach immediately after I was done playing for the team.
Oh, well.
And then I aged
That's
out.
an honor.
And then, yeah, it was awesome. And we had a great year. We actually, never didn't even make the state tournament that year. So like, well, but and then, the head coach at the time was unable to coach. And so I got asked to be the head coach, which was awesome.
Nice.
Fortunately, my first year was a COVID year.
Yeah,
so,
I was going to say, so this is just your second year, your first true year, but,
Yeah, first time in the postseason as a head coach, at least.
Yeah.
You're doing great, Coach.
Yeah.
Thank
I
you.
don't know much about, Pittsburgh. I know where it's at. I know the college down there. What's the history with the Pittsburgh American Legion? How successful has it been?
Recently, in recent times, it's just been about average, I'd say. An average program. We normally either make it to state or zone, just kind of get knocked out by some of the bigger areas like Topeka or Kansas City teams, or Salina has been relatively good. Hayes. But in the past, we had a coach named Coach Mike Watt. If you guys have heard of him, he was actually my high school coach.
Okay.
He was a high school coach at St. Mary's Colgan in Pittsburgh, which is a little 2A school. I bet it has 250 kids in the whole school. But he has 16 state championships in the state of Kansas high school. Wow. And so he used to play all these teams, and then he would just go, kind of handpick everybody from who he saw all year. Yep. And won state in 2008, 2009, and then in 2014 before this. Oh. But they've never been to the World Series, though. Never. I was talking to Steve Queen, who's the head at the state of Kansas, said that Kansas has only been to the World Series 4 times total. Oh. Huh. So, I don't expect us to, but I don't expect the previous teams to. 2009, they were runner-up. But that's the closest anybody from Pittsburgh or Post 64 has gotten.
Nice.
There's good baseball in Kansas. Very good baseball in Kansas.
Sorry, I can't hear you.
Oh,
There's
can you
very
guys-
good baseball in Kansas.
Oh,
Well, he's sort of cutting out on everybody here. That's Coach Clancy. The only thing that keeps Coach Clancy quiet is a bad internet connection, man.
I'm sorry. I can't hear anything.
Oh no! All right. Well,
I'm seeing if I'm muted.
nope. Can you hear me now?
I can hear you.
I'm kind of getting in and out.
Ah, man. Do you see? You can't see this. Okay, we're gonna figure this out here. I'm gonna take you off. All right. I'm gonna do that, and then I'm gonna do that. All right. That work any better?
Yeah, for some reason, my computer volume, I can kind of hear you, but I got to like lean close.
Well, we're not that important to lean that close. What was I gonna say? Talk about your the state tournament run. How that went.
So I thought throughout the state tournament, our pitchers really carried us through. We hit the ball really well as a team, top to bottom. I got really good outings from my starting pitchers. Other than one game, our starting pitcher throughout the game was taking me 6-7 innings into it. So really bullpen wise, it saved a lot of arms for the last day. And it came down to Saturday and semifinal and state championship time. And we had two of our better arms just completely saved.
Good.
And so it really worked out. And in that first semifinal game, my starter he went 6 and then hit after the 6th inning, hit his 105 pitches, had one inning in relief, and then from a relief pitcher, and then on to the state championship game where my pitcher went 5 innings, and then kind of piece it together after that. But it really helps when you can have your starter at least get you 5 innings in, and then you kind of piece it together with bullpen guys who can throw multiple games a day, short or a low number of pitches. So really, our starting pitchers were a huge help.
Talk about a couple of those guys or a couple hitters. A couple players we need to look out for when you guys show up here.
Just to make sure, you asked for players to look out for. Okay, sorry, it's very quiet. So I've got a pitcher named Cameron Williamson who will be throwing our first game. In the first game of state, he threw, and at the time we were only winning 3-0, so we maxed him out.
Okay.
We ended up throwing the whole thing. He shut with a shutout. This year, every single game he's thrown, he's just been absolutely wonderful for us. He's got really good off speed, probably sits 83 to 84. Can spot up a fastball, absolutely everything I want in a pitcher. And he's a great kid. He's a great kid. And that means more to me than how you play on the field as is. You're willing to do what you're told, and you're willing to contribute and be a good teammate. Because we got a saying that we want our kind of guys on the team. And I think we got a lot of those kids. Another kid is a kid named Shay Munkin, who's actually he's actually returning from last year. He had a year at a junior college in Coffeyville, Kansas.
Nice.
That's in the 3-hole for us. And he's not a very huge, he's not a very overly tall kid. He's about 5'8", but he was a 3-time state powerlifting champion. 5'8". So he's very strong, and he's a and when he gets a hold of it, it's to the point where you got a lot of third basemen right there that right between their legs. They just can't get the glove down there. I've got nothing but great things to say about him at the plate.
Great JUCO baseball in Kansas. Great JUCO baseball.
Sorry, can you say that again?
There's great JUCO baseball in Kansas, as you know, Coach. Coffeyville.
Oh, out of Coffeyville?
Yeah.
He's got one more year left there. I think they actually just got a new head coach in Coffeyville.
Okay. This is sort of awkward to ask this question, but can you talk about a little bit what happened at the state tournament? There was a little bit of controversy at the state tournament down there in Kansas.
Okay, so at our state tournament, I'm not picking any sides whatsoever. We're still in the process of whatnot. I actually showed up right after it happened. So I walked in and it was just pandemonium, and people had no clue what was going on. But apparently, just to fill people in if they don't know what happened, the game was stopped in three and a half innings into the game. I believe the final score was 11-0. I believe they called it on sportsmanship. There were two straight. The pitcher on the mound for the losing team was there was 9-0, and he was very slow to home plate. And bases loaded, no outs. Hayes straight stole home plate twice in a row, and it worked both times, making it 11-0. Hayes in their explanation was that they were trying to win the tiebreaker of runs allowed if teams became tied. Essentially, they tried it a third time, and it was an out, and they called the game due to sportsmanship after argument between the head of the state legion. I'm not picking sides here. I wasn't there. I didn't see it. So whatever happened, and it's over. Ultimately, the tiebreaker did not end up coming into anything. And the team that they beat was 1-2. So it didn't matter in the end. It I don't know. Let's just say it ended some kids' careers.
Yeah.
Never going to play. So nobody likes that.
No, but I didn't want to put you in a bad spot there, and pick sides there. What time are you guys leaving tomorrow?
We are leaving at 7 a.m.
And how long?
6 or 7 hour drive, somewhere in there.
All right. And I guess my last question is, had you ever heard of Hastings, Nebraska before coming up here?
Like the previous coach, I've heard of the college there. Not really anything else. I've been to Omaha to like the College World Series and stuff. That's probably the closest I've ever been. I think I've only been to Nebraska a couple times just for that. So I don't know a ton about the state of Nebraska either. So
no, but you're fine. You're fine. Well, thanks for coming on here, and we'll see you tomorrow or Wednesday, and we'll check out the Pittsburgh Post 64 Patriots. Is there a reason for that Patriots name, or is it just because the P and the P?
Oh, I'm sorry. Can you say that again?
Is there any reason for that Patriots name, or is it just have the P and the P?
I'm sorry. My audio is almost complete.
That's all right.
Thank you guys for having me. I look forward to seeing you guys either tomorrow or Wednesday.
Perfect. Thank you, Coach.
Thank you, guys.
All right. Last but not least, he's been waiting here a long time. Coach Perrin. Am I saying
That's
that right?
it. That's
right,
it.
You're gonna. I even have it spelled wrong on the screen. Your guys' name. You're gonna have to teach me how to say your guys' town's name.
Okay, so we've heard several different names over the last few years, but it's Cabot.
Cabot. Wow.
Yes.
It's not. I have heard 5 different names, and Cabot is not even close.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You did not know that, Coach Clancy.
I was just hearing 5 different names and multiple names throughout the years. Congratulations, Coach.
Thank you, guys. Thank you for doing this and
man.
giving us a chance to show off our guys. We really appreciate it.
No, it's awesome. And, I wish more people would do stuff like this. Talk about your program and your history with the program.
Sure. So the Cabot Legion program started about 15 years ago. We did win our first state championship for American Legion this year. And that's pretty special. And I've been with the program. This is year 5, I believe. And so I actually started with our 2020 class when they were juniors on the junior team. And so we've kind of worked our way up to senior level ball. And then, this is a lot of their last year to play due to age. So it's a special group for me. I've coached at Cabot High School for over 7 years, and I've seen these kids since they were little bitty 7th graders all the way up. And that's been special. And
awesome.
And so anyways, with that, this is kind of cool to get to do this one more time with them. So we're looking forward to the opportunity.
Good. That's awesome. I like stories like that. I'm sort of a, I don't know what you'd call it, sentimental person, but I like that story. I wish you guys could see my handwriting here. I don't know if you can see this. Is the Arkansas State Tournament bracket. I was
familiar.
I was filling it out. And man, That is a lot of games and not very much time. 10-team bracket. You guys started out with a win, and then you fell to Russellville, who I think you saw a couple more times. Talk about that state tournament run.
Yeah, you definitely have to earn it to get out of that. That's for sure. There's no cupcakes. We started with a really good Mountain Home team. We had a solid outing from our starting pitcher, Hogan Ralston, who started that game. Eli Hutcherson came in to close, and offensively, it's been clicking at the right time for us, and so that's been great to see. We moved on to Russellville, had a couple hiccups, some walks, and then made some errors in the field, and kind of let that game get away from us. But I'll tell you that the greatest thing was our guys' mindset after that loss was there was never any doubt that we were going to get back and have a chance to play for that championship. And I've just been extremely impressed with our mental toughness. As you said, it's a lot of games in a few days. And so it's been awesome to see our guys, because down here in Arkansas, it's not cool weather by any means. We've been over 100 degrees about every day playing double headers, trying to find our way back to the championship. And I think a lot of that says a lot about our mental toughness.
Yeah, and just looking at this bracket, once you went down to the losers bracket, you had to play 2 games on Monday, then you had to play 2 games on Tuesday to force that winner take all game on the Wednesday, and that's just like you said. I know that the weather down there is not the greatest. I assume it was a turf field.
It was a turf field, and our assistant coach had one of those temperature guns. He put it behind home plate. It was over 150 degrees. So,
jeez.
Wow. But our guys competed, and hats off. The Russellville. I mean, we didn't want to have to play them twice. We thought they were one of the better teams there. It just, baseball happens sometimes, and it happened to go our way.
Yep. Let's talk about a couple kids we should be looking out for when you guys are up here.
Sure. On the mound, we got several solid arms. We got some kids back from college. We start with the twins, Lucas and Jacob Petros, both at University of Arkansas at Fort Smith. Pitched some innings as freshmen there and came back to play with us. And then you got Hogan Ralston, who just graduated high school, and he's actually going to Hendricks, which is a Division III school here in Arkansas. So we've got several good arms. We've got several guys out of the pen that are going junior college route. That can give us some innings if needed, but I feel confident about what we have on the mound. And then offensively, it starts with Kyler Carmack. He's an Arkansas State commit. He's going to actually play outfield and pitch for them. And so he's been solid. I think he's batting over 600 for the year.
I'm not very smart, but when I saw those stats you sent, that was the guy who popped off on the screen for me there when I was looking at those stats.
Yes,
Arkansas State commit, man.
Yeah, he actually hit for the cycle in the championship game. He hit for the cycle,
I was going to ask.
Let's go.
Yeah, he's a dude, and we refer to him as clutch because it seems like the bigger the moment, the better he is. And we're thankful to have him. And he's not the only one. I mean, Jackson O'Leary from Enid, Oklahoma JUCO, he's been solid for us. Hayden Pruitt from the leadoff. The list goes on and on. Caden Smith, who's going to be a senior, and then and Colby Webb. This is a cool story about him. He didn't play the championship game, and the only reason being is because how Russellville played us. With what he did with the bat, it didn't play to his strength. But he's an ultimate competitor. That's a big name to watch out for coming up. That's going to be a senior.
That's awesome. I just had a memory here. I don't know what I was going to say. I had something. Like I said, we are far from professionals here. Gosh dang it. I had something really smart to say. No, I don't remember what it was. Coach Clancy, are you frozen there? Coach Clancy, you're frozen, man. Man, you're leaving me out to dry here, Coach Clancy.
I can kind of hear him.
I know. He's looking at the camera down there. I can see him, but he's frozen on the screen. I guess I want to talk more about your team. Shoot, man, I had something, and then Coach Clancy confused me, and I'm totally out of here. Railcat.
Okay.
Where does Railcats come from?
That seems to be a pretty common question that we get. So I'm not going to lie and say that I created it. I stole it from a team that's I wish I knew exactly where they were at, but there's a minor league or collegiate league team called the Railcats. So shout out to them for a great name idea. So our high school is the Cabot Panthers.
Okay.
So that's where the Cats comes from. And then there is a train track that runs right behind our left field, outfield fence.
Okay.
And so railroad. So we put rail cats together, and that's kind of where that came from. So we can kind of take a piece of history and then kind of keep our school name in the title as well.
No, that's awesome. And I guess that was my question. I'm glad you said that. Are all your kids from one school then, or?
Yeah. All of our kids either are in high school in Cabot, just graduated, or came back that played high school in Cabot. We are the largest school in the state of Arkansas, so we do have that going for us, which is great. We have a large population to pick from. But what's tough for us is we do play these teams that got 6-7 different schools they can pull from. But we do take pride with wearing Cabot across our chest, and I think it kind of means more because our guys are together 4+ years, fall, spring, and so it's special to them to wear Cabot and have the community behind them. And
you sort of mentioned this earlier, and you guys are sort of like us, though we weren't. We didn't end up having as many kids come back, but you really thought last year was going to be your year, but unfortunately we didn't have anything and everything. But just talk about that a little bit.
Sure.
Reading up stuff, I saw that.
And we our 2020 class, we had 13 graduate from high school. I think 11 were signed to play collegiate baseball. We were ranked number 1 in the state, max preps and all these other rankings. We really felt good about us going into that year. And then, of course, everybody knows COVID happened. It shut down the season. And I give a shout out to Scott Van Pelt. He did that senior spotlight, and our guys got featured. And that was a cool moment for them to have, because we're always going to have that what could have happened feeling because we knew we had a talented team. And Ronnie Goodwin does an incredible job at Cabot High School, and he deserves credit for everything we're doing right now. So from moving on to that, a bunch of guys came back that were allowed to by age. I'll tell you something that was really cool. We got in that state championship game, and all those kids that were on the 2020 team that were too old to play were there to be there with those guys and kind of have that special moment together. And like I said, being one school, it's a close-knit community, and our guys, they know how special it is for them. And a lot of kids from that 2020 class kind of got some closure from that.
Cool.
Yeah.
Coach Clancy, any weird Arkansas towns you want to ask Coach about here?
I just Gus Malzone. I mean, he was an Arkansas guy.
He is.
Yeah.
He is from Northwest Arkansas, and he also coached at A-State. And
yes, sir.
I met the guy one time. He came walking down the hall
really?
as a kid when he was at Auburn, and he met me, knew my name, and I saw him another time. And he's like, "Hey, Cody, how's it going?" So a lot of respect for him, a guy that large in my mind to remember my name. So I'll take it.
That's awesome. That's awesome, Coach.
Before I let Coach Clancy ask another question, had you ever heard of Hastings, Nebraska before?
The only Hastings I know is where you can rent movies and buy CDs and things like that. So a lot of these young kids probably don't remember Hastings, but that's the whole thing I know about a Hastings.
And the thing is, Hastings, we didn't even ever have a Hastings.
Okay.
The first one was Kearney, about 45 miles away, I think. Well, Grand Island might have one, which is 20 miles away. Coach Clancy, anything else here for Coach Perrin?
I think it's a sweet name, Real Cats, Coach, and congratulations, man.
Thank you, guys.
Yeah, we can't wait to have you, and I guess you're my last one to ask. What time are we leaving tomorrow?
So we might have the worst takeoff time. We're driving the bus, leaving at 2 a.m.
Tonight?
Like tonight? So I'm in Little Rock. I got about a 40-minute drive to Cabot, and I'll be leaving here in, I guess, 4 or 5 hours to head that way, and then loading up. So sleep's recommended, but not required.
Wow. And what time? I mean, how many hours do we think it's going to be?
They told us to be about 11 or 12 hours to get there.
Okay, well, that's not bad, man. Why are they having you leave so early? Holy cow!
I don't know. So maybe the guys can get some sleep on the bus.
Yeah. All right. Well,
bonding, Coach.
That's right.
We'll look you up when you show up here, and we're glad to have you. I know how tough Bryant was a couple of years ago, and they went 0-2 at your state tournament. So I know how tough that state tournament is, and for you guys to survive that, I mean, that just says a lot, and we can't wait to have you up here.
Thank you, guys. We really appreciate it. I can't say that school's name because that's a big rival of ours, but hey, we appreciate this.
We heard when maybe you guys were a little worried that there was going to be Brian on those T-shirts. You know,
my parents weren't going to pay buy those by any means if Bryant was on there, so I had to make sure we got that fixed. But hey, I got my Fear the Brick shirt ordered, so I'm hoping to fit in when I get there in Hastings.
All right. Well, we can't wait to see you. Thanks for joining us, and we'll see you tomorrow or Wednesday.
Sounds great. Thank you, guys.
All right. Thanks. Yep. All right. Let me do this. All right. The next thing we're going to do here is I'm going to kick Coach Clancy out of here, and we are going to welcome in an interview that I did earlier today, if I'm smart enough to figure this out, with Coach Getzy. I hope I'm pronouncing that right, from Washington County or Washington, Missouri, the Missouri State champions. So I'm going to try to open this up. Welcome back. We are joined now by the Missouri State champions, Washington Post 218 head coach Kent Getzy. Coach, how are you doing today?
Hey, good, Tay. Good to be on with you. And so far, so good. We're getting ready to jump on a bus in the morning.
What time are you guys leaving?
The bus is going to spot at 5 o'clock, and we'll leave at 5:30 a.m.
And do we have how long is it to Hastings?
It's they're calculating 8 hours, but that's traditional in a car. So I'm sure it'll take the bus a full 9.
All right. Well, we can't wait to see you. I'll be there when you guys arrive. I'm not any higher up or anything like that, but I'll be hanging around in the background. I'll make sure to come up, say hi. Let's just talk about the Washington, Missouri program. How long have you been with the program? And just give us a general overview of the Washington program.
Yeah, so I have been coaching at Washington Post 218 since the year 2003. Okay. My son went through the program starting at that time. He aged out in 2008. And I've stayed with it ever since then. Generally speaking, we always have 3 teams. We have a freshman team, a junior team, and a senior team. Generally speaking, we always have 18 players. There's some anomaly years. We have a beautiful ballpark. It's not much unlike what you have there at Duncan Field. It doesn't have the turf yet, but we're getting there. It's supposed to be in next year. We got some great families, and we are a 100% volunteer organization. There's not one person makes a dime out of our program.
Oh, wow. That's pretty cool. I mean, that's, it doesn't happen very much nowadays, so that's great to hear.
Yeah. Just to expand on that just quickly, we also, this year is the first year that we've had a dad on a coaching staff in the last 15 years. So they're all volunteers from our community.
Nice. That's
pretty good
to hear. We talked about a little bit before we started recording here. You mentioned you guys haven't been to a senior regional, but you've had some experience with a junior regional.
Yeah, so I was speaking personally. In 2012, our senior team did win the state title, and they did go to Louisiana.
Okay.
I personally, in 2005, 2015, and 2016, won our state title at the junior level. We went to the regionals, and we won those regionals in 2005 and 2016. So, I know, as I told you, I know it's a different animal at the AAA level, but I'm always disturbed by the pairings bracket that I see in the regionals. I don't know who came up with that, but Satan and he are friends, I think.
Yeah, we have the same questions too when those come out. Well, let's talk about your team this year. Missouri State champions. And it's a little different for the people from Nebraska. In Nebraska, we have area tournaments before the state tournament. In Missouri, they have the zone tournament. And if I remember correctly, you guys were like the 2nd or 3rd seed in your zone tournament. So how did that go to advance to the state tournament?
Yeah, so I'll just frame it up for you here so you can understand it. So we we have districts in our state, and so the district, we play district tournaments. So, for example, in our district, we keep the top 8 and we play the district. So my team came in 3rd place in the district tournament.
Okay.
But we were hosting the zone tournament. We had put in a bid in for 2020, and of course 2020 didn't happen, so we kept that bid to host the zone tournament. So in the state of Missouri, there's 4 zones. The winners from each zone goes to the state tournament. So we were hosting the zone tournament, which brought in 3 other teams.
Yeah.
And in quite a crazy turn of events, we ended up winning the zone tournament. And then we ended up obviously going to the state tournament, and then we walked through it basically with 3 straight wins.
Yeah, I mean, I was following along. I was listening to your great radio guys who were doing your games. I was in and out. I was especially listening to your semifinal game. When you clinched the spot here, and then I listened to part of your final game. But so basically, if you weren't the host, you wouldn't have had a shot to qualify for state then, correct?
Yeah, that's correct. That's correct. And, the state of Missouri, it's a little more, it's kind of like what's going on here. Like we're going to play you guys. Yeah. And you may or may not have been in it had you not been the host, right?
Exactly. Yep.
So it's the exact same thing. You have to have somebody that's willing to commit ahead of time to host something, so everybody knows where we're going, what we're going to do, and the drill, and getting umpires and all that stuff. So, we're an established enough program that they know that we're going to have a team at every level every year.
And be competitive. And be
fairly competitive, for sure. They expect that. But it's cycles. We're not the team that always hosts it, but we always put in a bid just in case they need us.
Exactly. That's the same thing for us down here. Our team did qualify for the state tournament. We won our area, and unfortunately we didn't play so great at state, but we also played the Creighton Preps. I'm sure you've heard of them in the world. We played them, we played Omaha Burke, another Omaha Metro team.
We actually played Creighton Prep in Sedalia.
Oh, did you? Okay.
Yeah, they had like a 5-team round robin tournament, and they had come there. They're a good team.
They are. And I know they actually played, I heard this from somebody on our board, they actually played more out-of-state teams this year than they did Nebraska teams this year, Prep did. And they were 2 games away from making it here. They lost, and we have 2 state tournaments, an American side and the national side. They lost in the American tournament final, and then the 2 winners of those play a 3-game series to show, and Gretna was the team that ended up winning that.
Gotcha. I saw that. Yeah.
Yeah, and they're the team that beat Prep. Let's quickly, I know we don't have very much time here. Let's quickly talk about your team this year. Some, players that the fans who are coming to the games need to watch out for.
Yeah, we've got a pretty solid lineup. We got our leadoff hitter. That is Sam Torilli. He's a fantastic hitter. He's got super wheels. He normally plays in the outfield for us, plays center field, and tracks down a lot of balls. And I heard that field's pretty big, so I'm glad we're going to have Sam out there. Yeah. And then we've got our number 3 hole hitter, Gavin Matchell. He pitches and plays right field for us, and he has an electric arm. He traditionally will, at least once or twice in a weekend, he'll throw a couple guys out at third base at home, if they try to advance on him. So he's pretty good.
He had a heck of a state tournament for you, just from what I just was following along. And
he barrels up a lot of balls, and then our catcher is Cody Vonderay. He works hard. He's great at blocking the ball. He throws guys out routinely, calls a great game. So, he's solid back there for us. And of course, our middle infield's solid. We got a great second baseman in Dane Eckhoff. Sam Pauly's our shortstop. And, baseball traditionalists will tell you be strong up the middle and you're going to be pretty successful. So, that's kind of where we are. And then, just everybody chips in. We've got, working around the lineup. we do get some hits at the bottom half of the lineup, which rolls into the top, and everybody does their part. And, we just the last 2.5 weeks, we've just stayed away from the errors in the field and not given up the big inning and then put the bat on the ball. So that's pretty much what's been going on with us lately.
That's great. That's great. And, that's just, that's the recipe right there. The recipe of winning a state championship, advancing to a regional, all right there.
Right.
I'm trying to think. You mentioned a couple guys on the mound who might get that start in that first game coming up.
Well, we're actually having a practice today, and I think we're going to lock down on that. But
I understand.
But, end of the story, we've got 3 guys that we kind of lean on as our quote unquote starters, which is Gavin Matchell, the right fielder I told you about, Blake Whitlock, who plays third base for us. He's a solid guy, and Sam Torelli.
Okay.
Those have been our 3 quote unquote starters. We have Morgan Copeland, who actually was pitching on our junior team for the lion's share of the team, but he was double rostered. And he's tough. He's tough. And, he pitched in the championship game for them too. So, those are kind of the 4 starters. And then I've got a bunch of guys that can just come in and give a different look and get us through an inning and then give a different look. That's kind of how we've been piecing it together.
Nope, that's great. That's great. Well, I won't keep you here very much longer. I had one more question, but now I don't remember what it was. Like I said, we're not organization here.
All good.
Our show here, I guess I should say. We like to run a thing. Last time we hosted this regional in 2019, and we keep saying last year because we see, it feels like last year, but it was last time 2 years ago. Missouri team ended up coming out. Festus, Missouri, who was actually the runner-up in the state tournament, ended up winning that regional here. We're going to, come up here and show you guys and Oak Grove. We're going to talk, well, by the time this is shown, we've already talked to Coach from Oak Grove.
Right.
But just in here, did you know very much about Hastings, Nebraska, or Duncan Field before regional?
No, as I mentioned, with even those other regionals I went to, I try to compartmentalize and not get too far ahead of myself. It's I'm not superstitious. It's just like I can't even think about the state tournament when I'm struggling to just get through a district tournament. So we take them, 1 week at a time when they come to us, and, we're thankful to be there. We're thankful to be coming there. But I didn't know anything about Hastings, but apparently the Kool-Aid Man might show up or something like that.
The Kool-Aid Man might show up. What Hastings is sort of, famous for, and I'm sure I've already said this 20 times in this whole show here, but, the Kool-Aid was invented here. And, of course, down in Missouri, he's probably not as popular, but Tom Osborne is from Hastings, Nebraska.
Okay.
Yep, he played Legion ball here, went to Hastings High, actually went to Hastings College, and then he coached a little bit of football down the road.
Cool.
Yep, so he is from here. So that's it. I will also say, you'll need to grab a program because we actually have every home run that's been hit out of here. It is not a long list. About 100.
It's not a full page.
No, well, it's 2 pages now because they made the type a little bigger.
Okay.
But since 1940, when this place was built, there's probably only been about 170, and I would say probably only about 30 to 40 of those have been Legion home runs. So,
would you mind sharing the dimensions with me?
I am looking right now. Left field is 370. The power alleys are 405. Center field only 408, and then down the right field line it's 367, and there's a, probably a 7-foot brick wall. So
why? You could have so much more parking in there around the backside of the field.
Exactly. This is the old circus grounds. They built this on where they used to hold the circus back in the day.
Okay.
They had a famous brick factory here in town, and so they had got plenty of bricks, and they just. I still don't understand.
The entire outfield wall is brick.
Yes. Yep.
Okay.
Yep.
Okay.
And
Yeah, I'm seeing that now, but
yeah.
I guess I didn't. I just was looking at the video and it talked about the renovated grandstands and the turf. I guess I didn't look and see that. Okay, that's impressive.
We changed everything but the brick wall, and they even play football out in the outfield. They can put a full football field out there in the outfield. And I know that's not as uncommon. A lot of places do that, but our parochial school here in town plays football out there out in the outfield.
Interesting.
Yep. All right. Well, Coach, thanks for joining us here. I really think this is really a special thing we're trying to do here. We're getting all these coaches on here to talk about things. I'm sure it's not happening in any other region, but we can't wait to have you up here on Tuesday and start playing on Wednesday.
Right on, Tay. Well, I appreciate you having me on, and I wish all the other coaches good luck, and I'm looking forward to meeting them on Wednesday.
Yep. All right. I'll talk to you. I'll see you. I'm sure I'll run into you sometime up here, and we'll be cheering for you, except for maybe that first game.
Fair enough.
All right.
Fair enough.
Thanks,
okay.
Oh, my face there. All right, Coach Clancy, I know you got some activity behind you.
Yes, sir.
We got practice in 4 minutes here. Give us a quick closing here, and then I've got one more special guest I'm going to bring on. But you give me a couple words of wisdom here before you got to leave.
Let's go, boys. Let's go.
Right.
Thanks, Coach. Thank you, coaches, for being on this too. Let's go. Let's go.
All right.
Thanks, man.
Yep.
Thanks, guys.
All right. Now, I am joined by tournament director Russ Kindig. Russ is the man, the myth, the legend in charge of everything Mid-South region when it comes to Hastings. Russ, talk about how this process has went.
Well, man, myth, legend, I would start with that. Dumb, and dumber probably sums it up more. Second of all, I'm so glad that all these coaches, the first two Hastings faces they see are Tate Mays and Jordan Clancy. Let's go. He does say more than that. But yeah, Tate, this is great. I love it. I got the whole week off. I never want to be anywhere else besides the baseball field, so why not put a huge one of 8 tournaments in the country on?
Yeah. I don't even know what to say because I know all the stuff I'm going to ask you, the answers to all these questions. But let's just ask you this. What are you most, excited to see this weekend?
Well, I tell you, seeing coaches' faces when they find out the dimensions of our field's kind of fun.
Yeah.
Obviously, as an old Legion junior coach, senior coach, knowing that 2-run ball game when you're getting late in the inning, you don't have to worry about the home run very often.
Yep.
It's a different game here. Hopefully, Coach Marquardt will be able to take advantage of that, which obviously we feel like he's as good as there is out there. I'm sure these other coaches are going to come in and be really good. We're expecting really good baseball. Everybody gets in here tomorrow. You ask when they're leaving. We'll get them through their orientation. Get them through meet their host families, which has been great. The people that have given their time there and volunteered, and then banquet tomorrow night for the players, and then we'll get going. We got baseball Wednesday.
Yeah, it's all the tough stuffs right now. Once they start playing baseball, that's when things get easy for us. You mentioned the host families. Anjanette Bonham. Anjanette, yeah, I said that right. I'm always worried I'm going to say that wrong. Anjanette Bonham of our Adams County Visitors Bureau organizes that. And just talk a little bit about what those host organizations do.
Sure. So when these when these teams come in, one of the first people they'll see, not Tate and Jordan tomorrow on Tuesday, but will be the host groups that Anjanette's gone out and found. The Eagles Club, I'll run them through here. I got them on my phone. Eagles Club, Central Community College, Runs of Hastings, specifically Casey and Clara Herman, Hastings Kiwanis, Hastings YWCA, Hastings Downtown Center Association, Hastings Heat, a new baseball program in town that wanted to help out and get their name out there. And then also the parents of the Hastings 5 Points team are going to take care of their team a little bit extra, even more than they already do. So just more to the list of volunteers. We've got our committee and our Legion board that doesn't get paid anything and puts a lot of time in, and we couldn't do it without everybody that helps out there. And then the Hastings Chamber of Commerce, Mickey Schaefer and Nicole Rundle probably tell you she's in charge.
About them.
And and Jeanette Bond, the list goes on and on. It's been great. We feel like and hope it's good for Hastings and all the chamber members and just people in Hastings, whether they're a chamber member or not.
Yeah, if you're in the Hastings area, come out. Come out every day. But make sure you come out that first day. Go ahead and pay whatever it is, $10,
$5 for a
$10
kid
to get in. You get 4 games. But it would be great to see also out here just for that Hastings game. If you can only make one game, get out here. 2 years ago, we had a great crowd opening night. It's just a great environment for the kids, which is the most important thing. But it's also something that just doesn't happen very often here in Hastings. Hastings has hosted more national tournaments, regionals, World Series than every town, everybody in the country except for like Manchester, New Hampshire, of all places. So, Hastings is a baseball town. We take pride in it. We hope we get a big crowd out here. Just so the people who don't know the behind the scenes, what's going to happen tomorrow?
Right. So like I said, tomorrow everybody will be coming in. We'll get through orientation, get them to meet their host families. Any teams who want to go practice or hit, we're going to set them up on a field and get them off that bus and try and get them some baseball since obviously you're going to have a long trip. Everybody here, we were excited to get Iowa and Colorado in here, and then they end up being 9 and 8 hours away. Yeah. It was nothing close to Nebraska, but we're excited for everybody to get here. We're ready for it. We've been working hard on it for a long time, and we're ready to get going. So Tuesday, I just explained that. Wednesday, we'll have games 10 o'clock, 1 o'clock, 4 o'clock. After that 4 o'clock game, we'll have our opening ceremonies. We'll have all the teams out on the field. It's a really cool event. And then 7 o'clock, we'll get 5 points in that Missouri champ out there.
Yep. Just really quickly, we'll run through the schedule here, and all this can be found on our website, hastingsbaseball.org. I'm assuming you're either on Facebook or Twitter now. So Hastings Baseball on Facebook, at Duncan Field on Twitter. We'll be keeping updates all tournament long. We are planning on streaming if we can pick up a couple more sponsors. So if you're interested in sponsors, it's pretty cheap. Game sponsors. Send us a message. But as Russ said, stuff kicks off on Wednesday. Got the Kansas State champions, Pittsburgh Post 64 Patriots versus the Missouri runner-up, Oak Grove Post 379 at 10 a.m. And then game 2 are the 2 new states in the region, Dubuque County, Iowa versus Gene Taylor's Baseball Club out of Colorado. There's Colorado State champions versus the Iowa State champions at 1 o'clock. And then at 4 o'clock, and I've already forgot how to Cabot. It's Cabot. I'm going to remember that by cabbage. Cabot Railcats, Arkansas State champs versus the Nebraska State champs, Gretna, Post 216. I think Gretna's excited about that. I think, we should get a good crowd from Gretna to show up. That's at 4 o'clock. And then as Russ just said, the opening ceremonies will happen right after that 4 o'clock game. And that's always just a cool experience. See all the teams out there. It's a, nice colorful picture and everything. That's at 4 o'clock. And then the game most of you guys are waiting for, Hastings 5 Points Bank, the host team, will take on the Missouri State champions, Washington Post 218 at 7 o'clock. Like we said 2 years ago, great crowd. We hope to have another one. The other thing that's going on, and we don't want to, we don't really want to give any names away. Not that there's anybody that, would bring a huge crowd as I do everything, but talk about what's going to happen before each game.
Right. So before every game, we'll have someone singing or playing some kind of instrument for the national anthem. We'll have a color guard. We'll have somebody from town. I can't think of everybody right now, but people that have been really good to our program, people that have helped out in the city of Hastings, sponsors, that kind of stuff come out. We're going to honor that 12-year-old Little League team that's going to Indianapolis before one of the games. Come out and support them. We're going to get our Braves team out there, almost 35-win team. What they end up? 30, I don't remember it.
Yeah.
But an awesome year, league champ, area champ. Just really excited about what we've got in our junior programs coming up to the seniors, and we're going to support them also.
Yep.
So a lot of fun things going on.
Yep. Make sure you come out. I'm watching 5 Points Bank get ready to go here. I know those kids were a little disappointed on how the state tournament went, and I think they're going to be ready to go to make Hastings proud. I don't know. Anything else, Russ?
Only thing I got is if you're watching, go support Maggie Malone. Watch on TV. It's my first cousin, my dad's sister's daughter. Yep. You got that right. Yep. Two-time Olympian, going to throw the javelin tonight on NBC.
Do we have any idea what time that's at?
Somewhere around 8, they think. She's in Group B, so
that's not too bad.
Yep, got that going tonight. Got to watch that.
All right, well, make sure we go watch that. Maggie Malone from Geneva. Yep. Fillmore Central graduate, they weren't in Geneva then.
Yep.
Fillmore Central graduate throwing the javelin in the Olympics. I guess that's sort of a big deal.
Second time, Tokyo and Rio.
All right. Next, we're going to bring on Trent Mays. Oh, never mind. We don't have enough time for Trent Mays.
We cannot introduce everybody to him. They got to wait for him.
All right. Well, thanks, everybody, for watching. There's still a couple of you guys hanging on. Like we said, I think this was a real special thing. I can guarantee you – I can't guarantee it, but I'm pretty sure this has never happened before where we were able to bring in coaches from each of the teams. You know, we did not get Coach Marquardt on here, but, you know, Coach Clancy, you know, he talks enough for all the coaches down there. So it was really fun, and I think all the coaches enjoyed it. I hope they did. I hope fans from all the teams got to watch it, and so they got to see what's coming up here. You know, and I meant to bring this up while I was talking to a coach. You know, we're pretty proud about the history of Hastings baseball here and the history of Duncan Field. And, you know, I just want to go over, like we talked to coach from Washington. You know, there haven't been very many home runs here. If you search our Twitter at Duncan Field Twitter and put home run list, you can probably find that. We'll try to post that on our website or post that again. You know, we talked about Alex Gordon is a pretty famous name of somebody who hit one out of here, hit one over the scoreboard in right field. But, you know, about 175-ish home runs, probably 30 to 40 of them were Legion home runs. The other thing is, you know, a lot of great players have played here in American Legion regionals. You know, Yogi Berra played here back in the day in a national semifinal game when he was playing for the St. Louis Legion, Hall of Famer, Major League Hall of Famer. Richie Ashburn, who's a Nebraska kid, who's in the Major League Hall of Fame, actually played here in a state tournament for Neely up there. He was from Tilden, Nebraska, but he played for the Neely Legion. One name that we just found recently, Frank Robinson, another Major League Hall of Famer, played here for Oakland in the Legion regional tournament here. They won it and advanced to the World Series. And then the last Major League Hall of Famer who was a Legion player who played here was Dave Winfield in 1967, played here in a regional tournament. So right there is 1, 2, 3, 4 Major League Hall of Famers who played here in American Legion Regional, just like is going to come up here on Wednesday. You know, so you just never know who you might see here. And there's been plenty of other names: Dave McNally, Greg Olson, Rusty Staub,
Ernie Banks, Bob Gibson.
Yep. You know, and those guys I named were all Legion players. And then we also have had, you know, like Russ just said there, Ernie Banks played here when he was playing for the Kansas City Monarchs. Bob Gibson played here when he played for Creighton University, playing Hastings College. And Phil Necro played here rookie league ball for the McCook Braves, played here. So that's, you know, 7 Major League Hall of Famers have played here, with 1, 2, 3, 4 of them playing here as Legion players. So, I'm sure a lot of ballparks, can have histories like that. But, we think that's pretty special here. Duncan Field's very special. That brick wall has been around here since the 40s, and it's not going anywhere. We just renovated this place not too long ago, added AstroTurf. We're very proud of this. It's one of the more premier Legion fields, which is, is primarily always a Legion field. It was built to be a Legion field and hold other stuff. It also holds college baseball, now high school baseball, and a college summer league, the Expedition League. But it's a Legion baseball field first and foremost, and we're just we're just happy to show it off here come Wednesday. All right, I talked way too much there, and Russ is laughing at me, and I didn't even have the camera on me because I was reading it, so who knows what the camera was showing there. But thanks for watching, and we hope to see you out here on Wednesday. Again, if you're from out of state and you're not making the trip up here, check HastingsBaseball.org. You can still buy souvenirs on there if you'd like. We're going to close off the online sales, so here pretty soon, just to make sure we have, enough of everything. But we'll be selling them starting tomorrow when the teams arrive, and stuff like that. If you have any questions, there's an email there. You can send it, or you can send us a message via our Facebook or Twitter. But HastingsBaseball.org is a great place to find everything you need to know about the regional. The Twitter account will be updated all the time at Duncan Field. Follow that, and the Facebook page. Thanks again for joining us. Thanks to all the coaches who joined. Maybe we'll get something else going, another show going here during the tournament with a couple coaches as teams advance on. But thanks to all the coaches, of course, to Coach Clancy, who I'm watching practice here, and I'm not exactly sure what he does. Heck, I don't even see him. All right, he does do that. Make sure also, thanks to Russ for joining us. Russ has done a ton of work on this thing, just a ton, and he's sort of the face of Hastings baseball with this. Maybe we'll get Russ. How do you pronounce Russ's last name? Crocious. Russ Crocious is the national tournament director here from North Dakota. Great guy. So it is a little confusing when you have the two sort of main guys' names Russ. So we have Russ from Hastings and Russ from North Dakota. But again, follow along. Check out the website, HastingsBaseball.org. And check out the Twitter at Duncan Field. Those are your two best places to find information on the games, on the streaming if we get that going, and just other stuff like that. All right. Thank you. Now I got to end it.
Yep. Thanks, Tate. You're doing a great
I'm
job
doing
with all
a
this.